Good morning, everyone. Salima, happy full moon. I don't know. I got called out on X because I didn't have the precise date of the full moon correct. Somebody screenshotted Stellarium. Like, sorry, I hate to be a dick or whatever. I'm like, no, I appreciate you being a dick. You're in good company. But yeah, so I don't know. All I know is when I look outside right now, the moon is big and fat and full, and we're very excited about it. Okay, that's I think what is most important. Today, we're having our, what do we call this? Our full moon specials, full moon spectacular, whatever it is, and just me, Friar Niki, and we're gonna take you to new depths of the mind and the soul right here on this call. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you have not done those things already. Hi JD, hi Matthew, hi Morgan, hey everybody in the chat. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, you want to, just lay into us, we're here for it. Maybe Friar and Niki aren't quite as much, but I'm here for it if that's where you want to go with it. If you guys don't know, my name is Abbey Quinn. I do Sumerian astrology, as you can see right here. And I do ancient astrology in general, but I specialize in Sumerian astrology. And you can go to my website, SumerianAstrology.com. And while you're there, you can learn ancient astrology. You can get a reading. I'm working on my store, you guys. I had to set it up so people could pay with crypto. So I'm doing that. So my brain's a little fried because I'm like 3 days in. But anyways, while you're there, you can also register to join our meditation support group. We are there every Sunday from 11 a.m. Yes, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Although you guys, after I get off to go eat dinner and whatnot, you guys have been on there sometimes for like an hour or two after. So it very much is like more of a support group. We sure don't talk about meditation for 4 hours, but you guys are welcome to pop in there and get some actual support, and it's definitely free. So all the information is on my website. You can also learn Sumerian while you're on there, like the Sumerian language. I have the most comprehensive course you will find outside of a university, and it is free. You will be able to translate ancient clay tablets if that's the type of thing that you're into. What else, you guys? I think that's pretty much it. So, Friar Niki, who wants to go next?
Nikki. I'll go next. Yeah. So I'm a constellational astrologer. I use astronomy with my astrology. It works. It's just way better. It's way easier. And that's what I do. So you can find my information down below, and I do natal chart readings. And you just got to send me a message and tell me what you're looking for. And if I can't help you, I'll send you to somebody who can. And yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to have fun today with you guys.
Me too. I'm very excited. I think this is the first one we've done in a long time since we really started doing them that we don't have a very special guest. So
yeah, we've had a lot of very special guests lately. So
Friar, how about you?
Hey, I'm Friar Pesel, and I do all kinds of stuff, I suppose. If you're like, hey, I'm so interested in your all kinds of stuff, I would say that is wonderful. Please to go to my humble WordPress, which is at friarpesel.wordpress.com. That's Pesel. You can also reach me at friarpesel, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, for viewers of this channel, I have discount code UTU25. If you contact me and you just say UTU25 anywhere, subject line, don't do it in the email address, that might not work, but subject line or the contents of the email, that would be super great. If you spell it backwards, then you will activate a magical spell too, so keep that in mind. Now, I've been really happy with my clients, like the client work I'm doing. Every single time I have a client session, it is amazing, and I do mean that. I know I can tend to the sarcastic occasionally, but I do mean this. I love the client work I do, and I really, really believe in it. Like I don't believe in many things. I believe in this wholeheartedly. So, come on in, get on my calendar. Now, I'm not done. I think we got to talk about our friend Niki, because my friend Niki over here, she did a reading for my friend JD Temple, it was amazing. And not only that,
I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I listened to the reading too because he posted it on his channel.
Yeah.
Can we get a link, cool. JD? If you're watching, I saw you in there earlier. Can you post a link and we can repost it? I can put it in the video description too. If you want.
I'll see if I can post it, because I don't think people who aren't admins can post links that work. So I should do that.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, YouTube.
Okay. Well, that's probably okay.
It's okay.
We'll find a workaround. Yeah, I'll make it happen.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was listening back to it and I thought, I could have read this chart this way, that way. That's why I never listen to them ever again after I do them.
To who? The readings?
Yeah, the readings. Because then I'm like, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I do that? I should have. Yeah. So I overly critique. So this was nice to just do it, send it off, and I love that it resonated, because guess what? The actual real sky works. Oh my God.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm getting so much positive feedback from every reading I do. And people are messaging, how do you know that? You've never met me before. How do you know that? Like, I do astrology. It's not psychic. I'm not tuning into some weird shit. It's just literally astronomy and astrology, like, put together. It's incredible. It's like powerful. I don't know. I'm just like nerding out over here over it. It's like the coolest fucking thing in the world. And
yes, it is.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
And it's like even better when you can actually like make the words make sense. Like a year ago, I get so excited about all of this, like, oh my God. And then I just lack the verbiage and like how to put it all together. Because I get so excited about it and I just like trip over my words, and like people who don't know anything about astrology have a hard time following it, So I've gotten better at explaining, how it works, and trying to remember that not everybody knows everything about astrology. Not everybody's diving in both feet, and,
I try to
have the background and the education. So
yeah, I try to ask people like in the beginning, but even if they say like, well, I'm pretty well versed in astrology, I still feel like I still put the basics out there, because you never know. Somebody might just say that, but then they don't really know, and they don't want to tell you. They don't want to sound
yeah.
So, it's definitely good to be able to communicate to somebody who has no idea about astrology otherwise. Definitely.
We have a very active chat today.
We sure do. You want to get on that, Friar?
Yeah. Okay.
Who we got? We got
lots of dreams.
Scrolling up here. We got.
It's good to see you, Matthew. I mean, I'm not actually seeing you, but it's nice to see your name in the chat.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually didn't have any dreams. I feel like, well, I did. Don't remember them. But I slept super hard, and then boom, was up at like 4 a.m. I was like, why? It sucks. So, but it actually, I don't know. I was like mentally, I was like, I'm ready to go. I made coffee and I hung out and got some stuff done. And
my dreams have been out of control, like for many, many days. Probably the last week.
Have you been writing them down? Like,
no, I don't.
Or are these just like?
No, I have this thing about not putting power into the past unnecessarily. I think when you like, it's good to write if you're like purging and you're trying to get rid of something, it's good to write it down and kind of solidify it, but then like burn that shit, don't keep it, like get rid of it. And plus it's evidence, if somebody ever mysteriously disappears or dies in some months, like somebody might go through your stuff and get an idea, So I don't hang on to any of that stuff. So
we got Morgan Roberts in the chat saying hello. We got Roxanne saying hello. We got Mermaids Wear Hats, which is an exciting concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that orcas wear hats? They wear dead fish as hats.
Battling a lion with no teeth.
That is not
Matthew.
my first choice of hat.
Yeah.
Dead fish.
Yeah.
Battling the lion with no teeth. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of a lion with no teeth, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, the lion represents strength, and having no teeth means there's no bite. So maybe
and
it
the
just
moon's
means you're
moving into Leo.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of that Hercules story where he's beating the head and then it just keeps popping up. So, yeah, actually, we're going to talk about the sky and how, I don't know, I feel like patience the next 2 weeks is going to be key. And I don't think it'll be hard either. I have a hard time exercising patience. It's just not an ingredient I was born with, okay?
Did you move yet? Are you moved?
I start moving today, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after the show, I'm moving everything in. Me and my cat.
Awesome. What's your cat's name?
Moses. He wasn't out, but I don't know. He went to go take a nap. He got bored. He got his Shiba, so he's he's just a big spoiled baby. I can't help but spoil him. He's just the most magical creature in the world. Everybody feels like their cat's the best cat. I feel like that. He's just he's the best.
You're definitely allowed to feel that way. I have some things planned for today, so we're gonna freeform here for a little bit. I do want to go over talk a little bit about, if you guys are up for it. I want to get Niki's reaction because I had asked her about this a few weeks back, maybe even a few months back. Some of the sillier comments I get on my video about sidereal versus tropical and some of the weird justifications. So I'm gonna have Niki react to some of that if she's up for it. And then I also have some videos I snatched from, if I can we use the word snatch? Will we get in trouble for that? Okay.
No.
But I snatched some videos from X, some spooky ones, some to do with the occult, some I don't know, some various things that we're gonna probably get some reaction to. And obviously here in a little bit, we'll go through and do a forecast for the coming week. And there's that. But if you guys can multitask and handle things for me, I'll pull up some of these chats if you guys are if Niki, you want to take a look.
Oh my God, yeah, because I remember talking about this now, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
But you got some really good comments in JD's video, which I posted the link to.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, I want to watch it. I didn't know
it
was happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it surprised us all.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would freak me out if I found out one of the private readings I did was all of a sudden on YouTube, I'd be like, oh,
well,
okay,
if you
saw it, you can.
You would know that it was going to be going out there anyway. So
okay.
I saw it. I knew it. I was like, he's going to share this if he likes it. And I hope he likes it.
Well, good.
He did. So yeah, it was awesome.
Well, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Present. Share the screen window.
Excited.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm going to read for you guys, if you don't mind, and we'll have Niki feel free to interrupt at any given time.
Goody.
This person says, I didn't blur out their names. It's all public anyways on my in the comments on these videos, so you guys can go check it out. Yeah. Why use constellations though if you want to be sidereal? There are just dots of light up there in the night sky, and to put them arbitrarily into named groups is meaningless. One could make other groups of the same stars and image, and I think they mean and imagine, and image they resemble some earthly creature or whatever. Tropical astrology at least has the solid foundation of the sun's yearly cycle punctuated by the moon's monthly cycle, creating 12 equal divisions. So many things that.
Oh my God, I know. It's okay.
And the sun's cardinal points and anchors for the zodiac.
There's anchors. Okay. I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That the divisions were named after constellations is the unfortunate mistake confusing us all. The meanings of the divisions or signs can be reasonably created from the cardinal directions in sign rulerships based on the speed of planets, although this is certainly debatable. Okay, so Niki,
absolutely
handle this for us, okay? Tropical astrology at least has a solid foundation of the sun's yearly cycle, punctuated by the moon's monthly cycle. What?
Well, I mean, I think that they don't know that all of that happened like way before tropical was invented, you know, because there wasn't a tropical system in the ancient world, you know, there wasn't. And okay, like, I get it, you know, they're definitely an allegiance, you know, but it's really like they never even picked up a book. Like, did they just Google shit that they wanted to read? And okay. So I don't even use like 12 equal divisions. The constellations aren't 12 equally divided, you know, stars. I mean, the constellation of Pisces and Virgo are huge. I mean, they've reached like 47, 48 degrees each, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Cardinal points and anchors for the zodiac. What does that mean? So
I don't understand what any of it means. It seems like the sun's yearly cycle is the same regardless of wherever you start it, right? In the sky. Like, what does the tropical zodiac have anything to do with that? Nothing at all.
You know what? The tropical zodiac doesn't even line up with the fixed stars. It doesn't even line up with it. And then when there's like an eclipse on a star, then it does. You know, when there's
that's what the pop culture people say. Yeah, they have to.
You can't get around it. Then they're like, oh, you know, we have to because it's just so it just doesn't. It's just like one of those fake ass systems, you know, if you ask me. But this is all nonsense. Okay, and the divisions were named after constellations is the unfortunate mistake confusing us all. Well, there's been plenty of civilizations that have had different artwork up. I mean, we just saw Pin. We just, yeah. So what's the right way then? This is certainly debatable.
Yeah, but we can measure accuracy based on, you know, if you do a reading using the tropical system or the sidereal system, you're going to get a different level of accuracy.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I said, I hear what you're saying, but I suspect the images of the constellations developed after observations of events over tens of thousands of years. The sun cycle is just as present in the 12 equal portion of the sky, a system developed in Babylon, not Greece. Sorry to hear you find the constellations confusing. Sending love.
There is a lot of confusion when it comes to what the constellations mean. And I think people just make shit up sometimes.
They do.
Like, they really do. I mean, with the whole thing with, you know, we've talked about Saturn and, you know, its relation to Capricorn and Aquarius. I mean, you don't do, you know, rulerships as much, but I mean, it says a lot, I think, about the planet Saturn when we talk about what constellation, you know, Capricorn and Aquarius really mean. You know, the demonization of, oh yeah, they're cold, they're like like that, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, they're just cold and they're disconnected. And I found that to be the complete opposite. I found to not even be,
it doesn't bear out in practice.
No, I mean, Aquarius is usually pretty like fired up about like world events, their community, stuff going on, political stuff. I've noticed a lot of my Aquarius rising friends are just, you know, they're up.
Civilization,
yeah. I mean, they're just, the energy is a little high there. So I mean, it's really hard to fall for that shit. The tropical.
Well, people do it all the time.
Well, I think they do it because it's easy and it's acceptable, and you're not going to be made fun of. Yeah, because everybody wants to join the crowd. I want to be with the cool kids. Like, I don't want somebody to think that I'm stupid, you know. So when you get in there and you start talking, you know, I do that with my customers. If I can get them, I'm like, so it's your birthday? And they'll tell me, you're not a Pisces, you know. I'll tell them that, and then I pull out my phone, and they're shook. They're shook, and they usually go Google shit later, and it's fun.
And no, you need to have your pamphlets ready to go, Nikki. Like,
oh my God, I know. I gotta get on Canva and do that.
Or like a business card or something.
Yes, yeah. Well, when the move is done, I got a lot going on, and I plan on. I've got a list. I'll check it off. Yeah.
All right. So the indigo Magician, what's that word, you guys? Anybody? Okay, it doesn't matter, probably. Fundamentally, we need to acknowledge tropical astrology in tying stellar observation. Tying stellar, if my screen is tiny. In tying stellar observation to the Earth's cycles, isn't following the stars. Am I reading that right? Tropical astrology is tying stellar observation to Earth cycles, isn't following the stars. Okay, it's just grammar. It's using them as reference points for Earth's energies. It is therefore actually a kind of geomancy. The astrological perspective, we still come into view with degrees of aspects and positioning, but it's not purely astrological system. Really, this was really hard for me to read. It's a geomantic type of astrology. Astromancer Friar Pesel, would you agree with that? Is it astromancy or geomancy, would you say?
This is not my favorite kind of thing to do. and I'm being rather careful.
Okay. Don't be careful.
Oh,
Start a fight. Let's have an internet brawl.
Spoken like a true Enneagram 8. Look, I'm just as interested in arguing over these systems as I am arguing over whether Islam, Christianity, or Judaism is the one true religion. Honestly, like, this is not my thing.
How are those even a little bit? I'm so glad that you brought this up. How are they even a little bit equatable? They're not. That's like saying I'm just as like I want to debate Christianity and Judaism and which one's the right religion as much as I want to talk about like math and science. Like, they're not. One is definitely metaphysical. One is demonstrably provable.
Well, I know that tropical astrology is really what a lot of occultists use, and who's to say that they can't use the real sky instead? That's where I'm like fucked up, because they're like, well, we're using the energies and we're doing our rituals and we're doing our stuff, and we don't need the this to align with this to work with those energies. And I totally agree with that, and that is a type of planetary magic, and so I can totally like respect that, but I often wonder, like, what would it be like if you totally lined it up with the sky and lined it up with those powers and that energy? Is that even like possible to do in the occult world, or is it just,
why wouldn't it be?
No, we do it, chaos magic, or
any of our occult practitioners out there, if that's probably not the right phrase, our magicians out there want to comment, questions, comments, complaints, send them over. Okay, Friar, before we continue, and I know you don't want to, I know you're already trying to pretend like you've gone to lunch and you're not there. But if we have 100 people, okay, just hear me out. If we have 100 people and we can reasonably assess the person's character without having to talk to any of those 100 people, and we happen to accurately describe fundamental elements of those people, which don't just, you can't stick them onto any random person. They have to be specific to a character type. Would you not look at that like that? There might be some sound evidence that a system like that is accurate.
I'm not doing this. I think you missed the part where I said I'm not doing this.
I did miss it. Okay. All right. No conversations about astrology, I guess.
Not about comparative whatever. Like, I'm not doing it.
Okay. All right. So, what else do we have in here? I wanted to get, some other people commented too, but I wanted the other ones. Hold on. Let me back up. Hi, the Indigo Magician, I'm all for following the Earth cycles, but tropical astrology doesn't have anything to do with that, at least in its current form. The equinox doesn't occur anywhere near 0 degrees of Aries anymore. I'm open to ideas, but as it stands, the tropical zodiac has nothing to do with the current equinoxes and placements of the planets. I hear that one a lot too. Like somehow that's supposed to matter, that 2,500 years ago, the 0 degrees of Aries lined up with the vernal point. It's not even close anymore. It doesn't have anything to do with that. So I still don't understand that reference.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a person on Instagram this morning, and I'd shown like what the cycles look like the wheel, and it had astronomical and all the constellations, and it had sidereal, and then had tropical in the middle. And I wanted to show why everyone is on the same page this time, with Leo being the full moon. And it shows where, in tropical, where it's like at the end degrees of Leo, but it's at the very beginning degrees astronomically. And sidereal, it's like kind of in the middle. And the dude was like, yeah, it's like a clock. And I'm like, yeah, imagine having a broken clock and it's like an hour off. Like, why would you want? Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, why would you want to be an hour
That's a great
off?
analogy. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a broken clock. It's off by like 23 degrees or 23 minutes or whatever you could say, or, even an hour. And it's going to be right twice a day. Just, why not? But it's definitely still wrong. And you can live your life by a broken clock if you wanted to, like if your clock's just running slow. But why would you do that? Especially if there's particular energies that resonate during those different times of day. I don't know. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. I don't get it. I mean, do what you want, but I'm going to keep doing readings using, my methods, and it's just going to, they're just going to see that it's way better. That's way
this other person, I see this argument a lot. Your placement in the world as opposed to the heavens. That's one of the justifications. I said, I'm not sure I follow, but because it took me a little while. And they said again, interpersonal world and being versus external world and being. So that's one of the other justifications. People are like, oh, the tropical is your I don't know, your outer whatever. And then the sidereal, the inner. Like, why do we need that? Why can't you just have one that represents the inner and outer? It sounds like you're just trying to justify your broken clock, right?
I know that a lot of, occultists, like long time, they had the same argument. Like Crowley, Blavatsky, all of them had the same conversations. It's all in their books. And then they all just have settled on, like, we're just going to leave it alone. And
they said that? They talked about that?
Basically, even Dane Rudyard in one of his books acknowledges that it is off, but because he's working with the inner order, just like the occultists have taught, that it still works. He was very much a theosophist at the time, I think, or I don't remember what he was into, but there have been a few like little Easter eggs in some of these older books where they knew about it. They'd had the conversation.
They just don't want to. Well, that's the thing. You're up against
practices, and because of like their brotherhoods and all of their groups, and I mean, there was tension, and they all had a similar goal. So, I mean, I don't know why. I wasn't there.
78 says saying tropical astrology is equatable to sidereals, like saying you can put ketchup on pasta and call it Italian spaghetti. They do that here in Russia. They straight up put ketchup right on their pasta. I don't understand it. They like don't know.
Dude, I grew up poor, so that's what I ate.
Like put some herbs or something in it, like put some basil in it, or you got to do something. You can't just put straight up ketchup on your pasta. That's gross. Mermaids Wear Hats said Blavatsky acknowledged the merits of Vedic astrology, but as far as I know, traditional cultists of the late 19th and early 20th century used tropical. Trish Farrell 78 said the moon compels the womb to bleed and the tides to move. If we believe celestial energies affect us, then we need to go by true astronomical placements. I'm 100% on board with that. Let's see what else do we have here. Okay, so I said, you mean the tropical being one and sidereal the other. If that's so, why would the tropical have anything to do with either of these? We might as well pick a random place on the zodiac say that it's the starting point of Aries and say the inner and outer world, or like this is the inner and this is the outer. The location of 0 degrees Aries as the starting point of the zodiac was relevant for a handful of years out of the last 26,000. Why 0 degrees Aries? Why not Taurus or Gemini or anything else? So this is a justification that I get a lot too. Like, well, that's where somebody, it wasn't this person, I don't think, but one of the people was like, and like the Greeks got it. I'm like, oh God.
Oh no.
Like, oh, this is not good. Yeah, so that point moves, and it has moved again over the last 26,000 years. And it would have only been relevant 2,500 years ago, give or take like 500 years or so on either side. And other than that, it's literally an arbitrary point. We could pick any point on the sky and say, now this is the tropical zodiac, because at some point in time, that was the start of the vernal point. You just have to go back to the right period in the last 26,000 years. But that's
I mean, didn't some like civilizations pick the galactic center, and that was like their starting point? Like, I don't know if they did. I'm sure it's. I'm sure you know, like they were like, you know what, that's the spot.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
This person again said the tropical zodiac is based on the vernal point being at 30 degrees of Aries. I think, I said that. I meant 0 degrees. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So she said this. I'll do this example. Okay, follow me, Niki. You are born at 27 degrees Taurus tropical sun placement. Astrology chart. In the sidereal, that placement is adjusted backwards 24 degrees. I'm already confused. That then being 3 degrees Taurus. That would be a fixed sign Taurus masterclass. I don't know what that means. Sun placement is the dominant energy in tropical astrology. Contrast with sidereal, your moon placement is dominant. And let's say at 27 degrees Pisces. As soon as we get to numbers, I'm all done. And then add 24 for the tropical placement, and that's whatever. And she just basically went on. But before I address the entirety of the example, I have to ask, why does 0 degrees of Aries have any more connection to the vernal point than any other? But does that make sense to you? Because I've heard that too. Like if you just shift everything over, it like shifts all of your placements, and somehow that's going to like balance it all out and make more sense.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think people are missing the whole point of like astrology and what astrology is. So astrology is like this tool that we can use to reflect our life back to us. And our lives are not in 30-degree equal increments. Okay. It's fucking chaos. Everybody's got shit going on. And that's what it is out there in the cosmos. Stuff's moving around, shit's whipping around. They're making aspects to each other. None of the constellations are the same size. I mean, like, it's just crazy to me. Like, I think you're right. You put math into it, and I like kind of zone out.
What you just said.
Like, oh no.
So the lunar cycles, and I know you guys. Full disclosure, know nothing about Vedic astrology at this point in life. Okay. Yeah. Whatever I knew before is totally gone. So outside of the general origins of it, but those lunar cycles, the one was it, help me, Gary O'Toole, the ones he was. Yeah. That's what they use to get like their precise, predicted, like their predictions and stuff. But what you just said, Niki, is very, it makes a lot of sense. Like our lives are not on perfect, we don't run on clockwork. It's kind of chaotic.
Yeah. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, no matter who you are. I mean, unless, you're in a monastery and you just pray every day, or you're a Buddhist and you just know exactly what's going to happen every single day. It doesn't stop the rest of the world from being chaotic and crazy and moving around. I mean, because that's just life. Like nothing is in even 30 degrees. Nothing's ever that perfect. I mean, yeah. I think that's a perfectionist issue. Let's divide everything up into 30 degrees. Let's make sure like we know where everything is, and just not the way it works. I mean, you can make it work, but
yeah,
I found using just the size of the constellations, using just the sky as it is, like what's wrong with that? Like I have an argument on the internet about it. I mean, not an argument, but a discussion, because it just seems to me like when I like discovered it, like this type of astrology, I was like, oh my God, this just clicks. It's just everything about it. It's just like, oh, this is the answer. This is now astrology just isn't half true. I was sick and tired of telling people stuff and they're like, oh, it's kind of like, that's kind of true. You know, back in the day when I was into, you know, astrology, not realizing there were so many different practices of astrology. You know, and the reason why I target tropical is because, man, I feel like a victim. I was looking at my old chart and I'm like, I'm that person, aren't I? And it fucking wasn't. And it's hard to get like good advice and pull something out of your tropical chart when it goes against like everything you're feeling and everything you're like going through. Like some of the placements will match, but not everything will match. Okay.
Yeah. Some of it does line up. And I think statistically that's probably.
It's usually your inner planets, you know, so it's relatable. Like I had a dude who had a stellium at the end of Leo into Virgo. And he's like, no, I'm a Virgo. I can tell you right now, I'm all the way Virgo. And he goes like that. And I'm like, you're Leo. Okay, Mr. Fabulous. And he was dressed well too. I was like, oh, come on. Hairline, everything about him looked like sagey. Like, yeah. So we pull it up, of course. And I saw his Sun and Mercury and Leo. But the rest of his planets were in Virgo. So he had a huge stellium. I was like, so you could totally like relate to that. Like, I get that. I had to give him that. But I had to show him, like, you do have some Leo in here, man. You got that flair. And he agreed. He was like, you're right. I am fabulous. And I was like, yeah.
Some people, like, you literally have to bust out the astronomy software.
I do. Every single time. You have to.
Speaking of, I have some up right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got the sun. Well, the sun's like cuspy, right? Right in the.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's sort of in the tail there.
It's in there.
Mercury's in the. Oh yeah, Mercury did make it into Aquarius. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, beautiful.
I know. I think we're starting to like see the bigger picture. A lot of us have had goals and you know things that we want to accomplish and do. And, you know, the sun and Mercury are kind of like illuminating that, you know, we can start pushing into our goals and seeing, you know, those things happen with this cycle. The moon being in Leo and then like the sun being in Capricorn brings up like all of those, you know, to me, I think about like, what do they have in common? Like both like to be in charge, both like to, oh God, I mean, yeah, they would leave a legacy. Both would, you know, want to feel important. Yeah. God, there's that authority versus like individuality too. Yeah, what else did I write down? God, yeah, Leo like has that desire to lead. So the moon, our emotions, we're all just like, you know, feeling it. Like, what do we really want? What can we really achieve? What are our goals? Oh, and it's really close to Regulus. Yeah, it'll pass Regulus. It'll pass Regulus today, which is a royal star. Aren't royal stars integrity stars too?
I don't know anything about that. That sounds outside of my scope of knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, so Leo, like, you know, Leo has self-respect and Leo wants to, you know, make shit happen, create stuff and just be fabulous and just be awesome. Just get shit done. You know, every Leo I meet is just like such an individual, like so creative, so uniquely themselves that, you know, they literally are the star. You know, you meet them and you just like, God, they got this energy and they're vibrant and they just suck you right in. And yeah, I don't know. I like when the moon is in Leo. Actually, that's like
I do too.
That's on my ascendant today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's around where my ascendant is.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Maybe that's why I couldn't sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I get lots of creative projects going. Not always finishing them, but
yeah,
I can't pull myself away. Leo's very creative. That's one of the things that kind of gets sidetracked. They don't really talk about in modern astrology. There's a lot of fertility in there. Some of it's actual like real fertility. A lot of it's creativity. So, but it's like it's like latent creativity. Like you got to kind of work a little bit to get it going, to pull it out. But once you do, it can be full on, artistry, but it's raw creativity for sure.
I think on the shadow side of Leo, you can see some like insecurity, hesitation to lead, things like that, maybe not. Well, oh God, I think this full moon is squared by Uranus, and Uranus is in Aries. I know I've been saying it's in Taurus, but man, that sucker, he like moved all the way back into Aries. And that's like, I don't know. I mean, I think people want a sense of freedom, to direct the course of their life and where they want to go with it. I think Uranus I like the Uranus energy when I think about him more as like a Promethean energy, like not just finding freedom. He doesn't just like whip into shit and like cause chaos and whatnot. That's not that Uranus energy. It's really calculated. It's really like planned. There's really like a lot of like, I don't know, I think thought and energy behind what happens when Uranus enters. And I mean, it's about nonconformity and definitely, I don't know, definitely not the shit I've been hearing.
What do they normally say it
is? He's crazy, he's kooky, he comes in and he just like, causes a mess, and then there's a bunch of like crazy, and that's not what I'm finding.
No, that sounds ridiculous. I
mean, if you look at pop culture, they make him out to be like this mad scientist looking guy, that is, you think of like the fucking scientist dude on Back to the Future, think of that guy.
Really?
Like, that's literally how it's been described out there, and I'm just not.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah. Oh, is he still in Taurus? I swear he was in Aries.
I mean, again, it's the artwork in the sky. Where do we want to draw the lines and the boundaries? It's right there in the middle. It can go either way, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, he electrifies things. He really gets the ideas going. There's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of like insight. There's a lot of really good creative ideas. And being in the square just probably like adds a little tension to your inner world, probably gets you a little bit more motivated, gets you going a little bit more, possibly. I don't know, maybe,
I think it's
strange dreams. Might even
could be. Yeah, I really think that
dreaming about fighting lions with no teeth. So
I think the whole time Venus is in Pisces, I think we're all going to probably get some whacked out dreams, at least to some extent. Now, obviously, where the moon is at in relation to that will make it more or less intense. But I think this is going to probably continue for quite some time, especially too when Mercury starts to roll into Pisces. Mercury in Pisces is a guarantee. If anybody out there has it in your chart, if you see it somewhere, guaranteed your dreams are weird. I can tell you 100% of the time. So
definitely. Yes. My Venus usually wears a beard, and with the Venus being in Pisces, I've just been like,
she a little softer.
So chill. Yeah. Especially like considering like where I'm at in my life. I thought I would have like flown off the handle by now. And just, I love Venus and Pisces energy. It's just been, beautiful. And awesome and compassionate and just, I've been loving that energy. I've been trying to tap into that a little bit more, that Venus energy. But no, I love her. I love her in Pisces. And, when she was passing over Neptune and the North Node, and I was just bawling. I just found myself just so emotional and just so wrapped up in my shit and what was going on. And not, because, and I don't agree fully with the whole Neptune is all delusions, and
it's nonsense.
Getting fed a bunch of bullshit. I feel like this Neptune cycle has just been about like uncovering the truth. What is it, that you really want? What is your soul, desire? What is good for you spiritually? And, how are you communicating that? And how is that working out for you? I really don't. I mean, it's not that Neptune can't be delusional or anything. I mean, I think it's the stars that it's in. Pisces is so imaginative, so creative. The flow is moving. You lose track of where you are and what's going on. You can just spin around in circles in Pisces sometimes, just letting your imagination ride. And I don't know. I kind of feel like we don't talk about Jupiter, like.
No, we don't really talk about
for
it.
any freaking, amount of delusion or, false beliefs or falsehoods. We don't talk about Jupiter, like leading us off into like,
I can't vouch for that. I'm not saying it's not there. I personally haven't seen it, but tell us about your experiences with the dark side of Jupiter.
The dark side of Jupiter. Oh my God. I don't even think about Jupiter like that. I'm just always like side-eyeing. I'm like, are you good or bad?
You're not like expansion.
I'm not a okay. Each planet, each energy has a duality. There's a light and there's a dark. And I'm still like, eyeing Jupiter up, because I don't believe that he's just all blessings and all good all the time. There's definitely something there. But what I can't really quite put my finger on it yet. Is it like delusional beliefs? Is it like leading you off into, pastures that just don't belong to you? You don't know. I got to study Jupiter a lot more. I do find Jupiter to be tied into the political stuff and the religious stuff, if you're looking at like mundane astrology. But yeah, I've got my eye on Jupiter.
Well, it was related to divine kingship, which is both the spiritual and the political side. So we can see that for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any more of that with the full moon being so close to Regulus. Everywhere around the world has a lot going on. It's kind of crazy. So I'm wondering if more information will come out. More crazy things will happen. It's kind of exciting to watch.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Trish Farrell 78 says even the Farmer's Almanac goes by the moon placement and not the sun to make predictions. That's what I do too. Like the sun plays a minor role compared to the moon. Morgan Roberts says, I think tropical was created for the sole purpose of mathematical perfection and able to get geometrical analysis on the aspects of the planetary aspects. It had to be done, but it's outdated. I mean, I would say that maybe about the 12 house system. So the Sumerians were really big on the number 30 and the number like they were the ones who created the 360-degree circle. So creating like smaller divisions of 30 was definitely on the agenda. But the Babylonians, they took it to another level. And that's really how we came down with like the 12 specific, perfectly 30-degree sections of the sky. But they weren't done. It wasn't done for predictive purposes, at least in Babylon. It was just that was easier for them to track everything. So, but I mean, I can see that. That makes more sense than some of the other stuff that I've seen. Morgan Roberts also says, and now it's just a massive spell because people put so much power into believing in it. Yeah, basically, yeah. Layla says, I think that each astrological system is useful. You are a saint, Layla. I appreciate you, and the world needs more people like you because I don't see it. I personally use constellational astrology, and I know that the tropical astrologers don't like it when people criticize their system. No, they do not. Nobody likes it to have their system criticized, I don't think. Mermaids Wear Head says, at Morgan, it does appear to be a massive spell, but what is it being used to manifest, I wonder? That was a good question. Roxanne says, I have a question. Is there anything about tropical you can believe? No.
So the planetary aspects are always going to be the same as.
Well, yeah, that's true. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So like if you're just focusing on the planetary aspects, that's the only connection that you're going to have between tropical.
But a lot of astrologers tie in the sign that the planets, and I don't usually do that so much. I don't think it matters quite as much. But pulling in the whatever constellation they're supposedly in. So if you're using the tropical system and you're factoring in that with your predictions with your aspects, you're definitely going to get some erroneous information. Okay. I promise you, you guys, I promise you it's demonstrable every single time. This is not a situation where you have to like use your imagination, you know, your confirmation bias to see the accuracy of sidereal astrology and the inaccuracy of tropical. It's literally there. We can put it on paper. I've been doing it for the last 20 years. And I and every other sidereal astrologer out there, we have to put our money where our mouths are because, you know, we're getting paid and you don't want to have to give somebody their money back or have somebody piss all over your reputation because you give them a bad reading. So it's incumbent upon us to do the best we can. Plus, people, I mean, not everybody, fortunately, but there are a lot of people out there that make big life decisions based on what an astrologer tells them. And if you give them bad information, it can ruin somebody's life. I have clients that have come to me that are still hung up about astrology readings, terrible ones they've gotten, you know, early on in life, and they've created all these self-fulfilling prophecies. So it's very important that you give people the most accurate information possible.
Yeah, I think astrology can easily turn into, you know, storytelling when we get into the charts and we get into things like I find it really hard to, well, I used to find it hard to, you know, not add things, not try to like, I don't know, story build instead of actually just saying, hey, this is what this means. And like going down to the raw, like meanings of the signs versus, you know, like I'd taken a class once on the nodes and this dude was talking about how he, you know, builds a story with the South node and you can, or maybe it was a YouTube video, I don't remember, but he was like, you can build a story and tell them they were like a princess and a fucking past life and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm just not down for that. Like, I don't think that really helps anybody when you're just making shit up and, you know, that usually people are coming to you because they want to discover something about themselves. To me, I feel like I'm pointing out the obvious, but sometimes, you know, we don't see that. Like I'm blind as hell. You know, I've had readings where I'm like, you know, I've been pointed out like, hey, this could be the problem right here. And like, what do you know? Just making like some emotional like changes, you know, changing things and having different thoughts and creating a different reality has really changed, you know, my perception. But it starts there. It starts with something. You have to do the inner work. And then that's all we can really all agree on is that astrology helps us do a lot of the inner work. You know, it's just, I don't know, is it like poor man's therapy? Like astrology is usually the last, you know, resort for some people. You know, I've been everywhere and I still can't get answers to this or that. I mean, I came to you because I was like, oh man, my like body doesn't work, you know. You're like, oh, you know, you were able to just point out things that were obvious to you that weren't obvious to me. So
right,
it's like so awesome. So yeah, I mean, we'll all have different systems. Every astrologer will all have different ways of reading, and we'll all have different clientele too. Because clients are, it's just like kind of like being like any type of artist, you know, you just attract to who you vibe with.
Hopefully that's what's happening.
Yeah, I would hope. I don't know. I've studied my tropical chart to no end for many, many years. And I don't know. That's just one system I'd like to see go away. Yeah, it just doesn't really help anybody. I don't see any use for it in the way that I use astrology. Now, if you know you're a practitioner that's like uses it for, you know, therapy purposes or like, you know, for occult ritual purposes, you know, that's completely different. There's something else going on there. You're not doing predictions based on false, you know, false placements in the sky. You're, you know, if you're using divination, a lot of the time you're connected with your, you know, higher self or some type of, you know, different divinity, magic, psychic work, you know, mediumship type stuff. So, I mean, I can totally get down with the fact that you can use it for a lot of different things, you know, and if you want to call it tropical, you could even call it tropical. But I feel like when occultists,
why though?
Yeah, I feel like it's different. It's not quite tropical when they're using it, which sounds stupid. But I mean, when I think of tropical, I think of God, the wrong ass chart, 20 something odd degrees off. And you're going to try to tell me like, this is going to happen to you next. And then this is going to happen to you next. And these are the energies I see. And you're reading the wrong constellations. Like there's a big difference. I'm sorry, between Gemini and Cancer. There, and we have Mars and Gemini right now versus not in Cancer. Or they're saying Leo. I don't fucking know what they're saying, but it makes a difference. It really makes a difference when you're talking to a client and they've got, finances, their love life, all of it hinged on what it is you're saying, and you're just there to guide and speak what the energies really are. And personally, I just don't like being lied to, so
you don't.
I don't. Does anybody like getting smoke blown up their ass?
Yeah, a lot of people do actually.
Yeah, I guess.
I assume so. I don't know.
I like to rip the veil off of everything. I want to know the truth, and this is something that is so absolutely easy to comprehend and easy to attempt to do. So I would just actually encourage anybody who practices tropical astrology to give it a shot. Give astronomical astrology a shot. God bless you. Just give it a shot and see if you could actually go back. Because I don't think you could. I think if you started reading for people using astronomical astrology, you're going to see a huge difference. Experiment with it. If you're an astrologer, you want to experiment. You want to know. You want to check it out for yourself and say, hey.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. Just like doctors. If I was a doctor, I would want to continue to learn the most up-to-date information about medicine. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you care about the human body? And but they don't. They're not into that. So a lot of them aren't.
Yeah, well, the ones I don't know. There are some that are interested in learning and want to know more and want to practice all sorts of different, styles of astrology. So I'm speaking to them. I'm encouraging you to try this astrology out. You're not going to want to go back. I didn't. I'm not going back. You'll never see me go back. Not a million years. What is this?
Hold
Who
on.
are the Anunnaki? Oh, did they make this with the chat and everything? The chat GDP?
Probably. Hold on. 1 second. I gotta try again. I'm new to this. Me and Friar tried this out the other day, and I'm still getting the hang of it. So you guys will have to be patient with me. All right, let me see here. Share the screen one more time.
Oh my God, I know this is your favorite, all the Anunnaki stuff. Because everyone's read the tablets and they all know what they say.
Everybody, clearly.
I was just born knowing what all these hieroglyphs and tablets are mean.
These could be loud, you guys. So give me some feedback and let me know if you guys can hear everything. Let's start with this one.
Birthdays witchcraft. Touch wood is an ancient magic ritual to summon the tree spirits. Turning the lights off and chanting happy birthday while blowing out candles and making a wish is a form of magic rituals. Black mirrors were used to contact spirits, and we use them every single day. They were called scrying mirrors. Scry became screen. When you are praying, you are trying to cast a spell to change reality with your words. The word abracadabra translates to I will create with my words. This is why we call it spelling. It's a spell. Birthday rituals are making you age quicker. When we say how old are you, we are tricking our subconscious mind that we are old. When you jinx something, this is a jinn, which is an invisible creature within the astral planes.
Oh my God, right. It's like jinx.
Yes, let's take it one at a time. I'll try to pause.
Happy birthdays, witchcraft. Touch.
Is Friars, happy birthday, witchcraft.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Wood is an
ancient
magic ritual to summon the tree spirits.
Now I've
knock on wood.
Yeah,
you have.
I've heard the knock on wood thing, and that you're summoning tree spirits, but I don't know. I think I wouldn't want to summon the tree spirits of any of the wood I've knocked on, because it's we killed their home.
That's
Are they still in the wood?
Yeah, it's not knock on a tree. It's knock on wood. There shouldn't be any spirits left in your wood.
Yeah,
and if there's not, they make a medication for that, I hear.
Turning the lights off and chanting happy birthday while blowing out candles and making a wish is a form of magic rituals.
I mean, I guess anything's a ritual. Brushing your teeth is a ritual. It is magic. When you're brushing your teeth, you're definitely trying to ensure that nobody thinks your breath is smelly that day. So like you're trying to shape reality. So isn't that just as witchy? Yes? No?
I don't know. The birthday
Mirrors we
thing
use
is so weird.
to contact spirits, and we use them every single day. They were called scrying mirrors. Scry became screen.
Thoughts?
No.
I
don't know, man. I hate my phone. I hate it so much. If I had to sit and stare in a scrying mirror all the time, like, oh my God. It'd probably be a lot more fun than my phone.
Yeah.
You are trying to cast a spell to change reality with your words.
I think when you're praying, you're trying to communicate with some higher power, but that's just me, which is similar to spell work. I was on the Pixie Dust and Spirit Alchemy channel show a few weeks back, and one of the things I was talking about was, so I grew up Catholic and my family's like super Catholic, and there's a million of them because they're Catholic, so you know. Irish Catholic, so lots and lots of cousins and aunts and whatnot. So whenever somebody's sick, they all get on the phone, and we call it the prayer chain because everybody gets on the phone. They go and they pay to have masses said for the person. They all start doing the rosary, and like they don't see it as witchcraft, but it's very clear to like an outside observer. You guys are chanting, you guys are lighting candles, you guys are doing these rituals, and it's basically magic to, try to help somebody, but of course you can't tell them that because they get upset.
Abracadabra translates to I will create with my words.
Is that true, Friar? Do you know about that?
No, I don't know.
Are you upset? You sound really quiet and grouchy.
I am deep in thought.
Okay. Well, is there anything I can do to help?
No.
Okay.
Why we call it spelling. It's a spell. Birthday rituals are making you age quicker. When we say how old are you, we are tricking our subconscious mind that we are old. And you jinx.
I guess that's possible. You could say how young are you? We could do that. We could play that game all day. Like we could play that. Creating reality.
Know. I talk about how old I feel all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel old. Oh, my back hurts. Maybe I gotta stop.
That probably doesn't help though.
Yeah, I'll try.
I've noticed a lot of people. And I noticed this when I was young too. Like a lot of people, they got it in their head that at a certain age they were going to just be old by then. But look at RFK Jr. He's over there busting out like hundreds of push-ups at 75 or 78, however old he is. He looks ripped. So I don't really buy into that. Like, oh, you're just old because, I do think that we create some of that. We decide.
Yeah, this guy sounds a lot like Jordan Maxwell. Like he just took some stuff from Jordan Maxwell's videos and was like, yeah, okay, I'm an expert.
Something. This is a jinn, which is an invisible creature within the astral planes.
Okay. Well, I guess
he doesn't explain anything else after that. It's just
that was it. Just a
creature in the astral.
Yeah.
Do they grant wishes like the movie?
Yeah, I think they do, but those are like they can do things. I think. Well, I don't know that they're evil, but they definitely can do some stuff. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Let's see what this one is. It's short, so I think it's only 40 seconds.
Did it freeze? Am I frozen? No. Okay.
Oh, is it not? It might not be showing. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah. No.
Okay, hold on. I gotta switch. Hold on. I'm over here like watching it. Like, what the fuck's going on? Okay. Stand by.
And I saw your eyes move, and then I was like, wait.
Yeah, I was watching. You guys just weren't hearing it.
I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, hold on.
These TikToks are funny. I'm glad I'm not on there.
There's all sorts of reasons why you might want to join a secret society, especially one that's selective.
No one except members are allowed inside. Rumor has it that each new initiate is carried into the tomb in a casket.
They were accused of worshipping a three-headed cat,
Stealing body parts,
Dance with the devil.
in the light. All sorts of things. It is a tiny window into the secret world of the much bigger picture.
Secret societies in the shadows.
So all of those people on that list, I'm assuming, are just devil worshippers, right? That's what that's what I'm coming to understand. The Knights Templar, Freemasons, Golden Dawn, Illuminati, Skull and Bones, and the Circle. Which
I doubt it. I doubt that's not true. They're not.
Well, secret
worshippers.
societies. They say it all spooky. Like, I guess we're supposed to take that to mean that they're terrible. They're doing something very bad. I picked some of these because I thought Friar would give us some commentary because he's our resident occult expert. Friar, do you have any comments on these?
My thoughts are with Harpurkrot.
I don't know what that means.
And the fourth power of the Sphinx.
That sounds occulty, but I don't know what it means.
All right. Well, I know that they're not Satan worshipers, but it's occulted. It's secret, and everybody's scared of secrets until they actually figure it out. And then they're like, oh, they're just a bunch of folks lighting candles and playing with their shadow sides and figuring shit out, just like every other religion. Or religion, I guess. They're not really a religion. They're more like an order. Yeah, I haven't studied as much occult stuff as Friar, so like my opinion's kind of.
Yeah, Friar, I didn't mean to upset you. I had no idea that would even kind of happen. I can't see your face. I can't read your verbal cues very well without being able to, see you. So that was definitely not my intention. I apologize on all accounts and stuff.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, I have like a bunch of these, and they're mostly the occult stuff. So let me
go ahead.
Well, I don't know anything about it, so it's not as much fun.
Gotcha.
That's like your specialty. So let me switch through these real quick. Hold on. Niki, you have to entertain while I multitask. I can't.
Well, let's see. Well, Saturn is trining Mars today, and that's actually a really good aspect. Kind of helps you concentrate and get shit done. It's like a, discipline, applying discipline to your actions. It's a good time to get focused and get shit done this rest of this lunar cycle, though. I don't know if it's going to be spicy or not. I think we just keep getting spicy until the eclipse. Next cycle, right? Ooh, what's this?
This is my favorite guru, Sadhguru. And when I say I'm being sarcastic. He is the opposite of my favorite. There's worse ones, you guys. There's definitely worse. But let's see what he has to say. He talks kind of quiet in this. There's no subtitles, but let's see if we can hear what he says.
Is that rock more potent or this human life more?
He said, is that rock more potent than this human life right here?
Human.
He said, no, this is human.
Consciousness is far more potent.
Because you're conscious, and that's far more important.
So should that rock influence you, or you should influence the rock?
Did you guys hear that? So should that rock influence you, or should you influence the rock? I don't know if you guys can hear him, so I'm just repeating what he says.
Should the rock determine your destiny, or you should determine the destiny of the rock?
I should.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's asking, should you determine your destiny, or should the rock determine your destiny? I don't know if you can see where he's going with this.
I want you to understand, planets and stars are just rocks.
Planets and stars are rocks. Stars are not rocks, but okay.
You determine their destiny. They don't determine your destiny.
Okay, so they don't determine your destiny. All right, so this is definitely Sadhguru comes up with some really crazy stuff that A lot of people think it's just the most mind-blowingly profound wisdom, okay? But it's like, fortune cookie level wisdom. And the rock that you live on definitely influences you by its electromagnetic field. The sun influences us through its electromagnetic field. We have a connection to the other planets in the constellations via those electromagnetic fields. We have an electromagnetic connection to the actual center of the galaxy. So we're not talking about like rocks. Like I don't know what he's pointing at. I mean, he could be pointing at pebbles on the street for all I know. Sure, those ones probably don't determine your destiny. And I would say none of them determine your destiny. And that's not what astrology should be used for. It sounds to me like he has a very limited idea of what astrology is supposed to do. But yeah,
but astrology's had a reputation for, predicting the future. And a lot of astrologers have gone and said, oh, I can predict this, I can predict that. And we all kind of saw it with the presidential elections. A lot of astrologers were like, this person's going to win. And then when their person didn't win, it's like, oh, so you can only really talk about the potential energies, really, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you can. Right. Yeah, you can tell somebody. You can tell the future, but I mean, it's not reliable. People can change their mind. You have free will to do whatever it is you want. I mean, these are just potential energies. I've met people who have a chart that is set up where it's like, wow, you like have everything here for success. And they piss it away, with alcoholism or, something, that they're addicted to or, or avoiding dealing with. So, I mean, it comes down to just potentialities. Now that guy, he's like, oh, that rock doesn't determine. Yeah, it doesn't, you are in charge of your own life. We have this argument all the time, like divine will or free will. Like, yeah, I mean, there's potentialities. You could just decide to sit there and not do a fucking thing with your life. You could be like, I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to. I think I want to just like lay around, meditate, not work, just do whatever I want. You can, but do you think do you think your soul will really sit good with that? I mean, usually somebody who refuses to live their life is doing it because, something's holding them back, usually drugs.
Yeah, and then astrology will help you figure out what those things are, so you can.
Yeah. I mean,
it really is. So it's prediction in particular, which is kind of what I think he was. Well, at least prediction. Prediction's like it's really just a weather forecast. It just tells you what the conditions are going to be, and then you get to decide what you want to do with that. But it's not forcing you. It's not the Matrix trying to force you into behaving a certain way or doing any of those things. It's just a weather forecast. It's just the current.
Yeah, you do have the choice to participate or not. You don't have to participate. You can sit it out. You might regret it though. There's lots of things I sat on that I wish I wouldn't have. So, but you don't have regrets,
Niki. No regrets. No regrets. You're right where you need to be. And if you'd have done anything the right way first time around, you'd be in a completely different situation. So
yeah, I tell my kids that because they want this awesome, perfect, like wealthy life right away, like all these young people do. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a spiral, guys. You got to revisit all the same shit a bunch of different times before you actually ascend to the next level. I mean, hopefully one of them can strike it rich. That would be great, but I doubt it. None of them are an internet sensation.
Fingers crossed for you, Niki.
You go to usgs.gov and download this satellite radar imagery of the moon. Anyone can do this. Pull it into your computer. Ground penetrating radar is going to let you see what's 30 meters beneath the surface. And what you see is what looks like structures beneath the surface of the moon. With the naked eye, no editing, no photoshopping, just looking at it. There's videos on YouTube you can pull up.
I wish they would have showed us one of those instead of just talking about it. Like, why did
you? Is it real? Yeah. Can you really do that?
I don't know. I didn't see any
Billy Carson
or anything.
Who was that?
It was Billy Carson.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing photos of Mars and they had like that pentagon shape, was it pentagon shaped building, like a 5? Yeah.
Maybe
now
yeah.
Like, oh.
Half the pictures they have of Mars are just from Canada. So who knows? Who knows? They got that one picture from Mars that has that lemming in it. Do you guys see that picture?
No.
So, yeah. And they've had other pictures where they were able to line it up with like scenes. I forget where they take the pictures from. And then like if you look on Google Earth and you turn the camera and like from where that spot is, you can see the Mars lunar rover team, like the picture taking people, the photographers, just like in their little van. So yeah, they fake photos all the time, which is dumb because that's why nobody believes that's why people think the earth is flat, because you guys have lied so many times through your teeth that people don't even believe that the sun rises in the east anymore. I think it's a big floating ball or something that just, goes in a circle around the earth. Do you guys see that one where
why do we call it east? Why can't we call it west? I mean,
well, the Egyptians didn't. Their north and south were different.
Yeah, it was. Didn't it go by the river?
Yeah. Oh, that's loud.
Ooh, what are these guys? I've seen these before.
That was Easter Island.
Yeah. They got good. Yeah, they got good music. Göbekli Tepe. They're like, oh, you mean civilization started before Jesus?
Yeah, that's why they got to bury it.
That's why they're like, oh, no, everything started 2,000 years ago. That's when everything started. How do we know?
That's what those dudes said. Those guys from, what was that called?
Oh, yeah, the Archaics.
Yeah, they're like, well, they're technically not from Archaics, but they were promoting it.
Yeah.
They were saying like, oh, the flood of Noah was like 2000 BC. Like, no, dude, it for sure wasn't. Like, there's no archaeological record of that, and that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. So every time traveler carries around a cute little purse.
Yes.
Put all their things in. So I wonder if that's where they keep their cell phones.
Seed purse of sorts, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Seed
purse? Ooh, I like that.
I don't know. This one's crazy. I don't know what we're looking at. It's a weird video. It's like all little occult symbols. Do we want to do this one? I don't know. Shouting it. Hold on, I definitely got to turn the volume down. Stand by. All right. Present. Share the screen. I'm getting better at it, you guys. I'm getting better. All right, let's see what we got here. Looks spooky. That's what I know.
Oh my God. That's a Freemason.
Masonic symbol. Yep. Scary. Double-headed eagle. Uh-oh. All-seeing eye. Jesus. What?
What?
Crazy. Do you see what I see? You spelled I wrong.
It looks like an A for anarchy.
Oh, the Saturn stuff.
Isn't 6 the number, like the vibration for love?
I don't know. I'm not a numerology person.
I'm not either. I kind of made it up in my head. And I was like,
okay, that sounds good.
Because it sounds like the lover's card. I'm like, oh, like lover's card is number 6. I mean, if that's
we definitely well, now my Hebrew is non-existent. Friar, are you still there? Can you comment on the 666 in the Hebrew alphabet?
Oh, I don't remember what it is right now. I mean,
okay.
I just remember the reference to, was it Revelation? It's the number of a human. So.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you can see where my little mouse is scrolling.
Oh, the monster. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was, I saw a video a long time ago about a woman convincing these people that monster, the emblem, was like a satanic symbol.
It kind of is though, a little bit.
Is it?
I mean, it's 666. I don't think that is not intentional. If I have a company, even my tiny, tiny company, I put a lot of consideration into my logo because I want it to mean something to me. I'm not trying to cast any spells. You know, I have the cuneiform for On, and I have the moon. So, like, clearly there's some sort of astrological, astronomical, and divine, you know, significance to Sumer. I can't imagine some, like, billion-dollar company's not going to put the same level of thought into their logo. So I just don't think that that's, I think it's not a coincidence. And even if you don't believe in Satan or the devil or whatever incarnation of supreme evil you want to use, they can still think that, you know, people can still worship something that's totally imaginary or, you know, put attention into it. I mean, we see it all the time in, you know, all areas of life. So yeah, I think that one's intentional. They were trying to do something.
What else is there? Oh my God, do they have the like the ball gazer shit in there? Come on.
What is it?
Like, come on. Oh, I can't point at it. It's the hand. What is that? What is it?
Oh,
what is
this
it?
thing?
What
I
is
thought
it?
that was
Well,
that's
okay. Like if we're gonna do that's like
yeah.
That's funny. I have the brain of an 8th grader.
Me too. Me too.
Black cube of Saturn. How did Saturn get like shat on so hard?
It's medieval stuff. Yeah, it's all
Well, we talked about this once. We talked about the Renaissance, and the Renaissance, they brought back a lot of the Greek ideas around mythology, and then they were rewriting things. And that's how, you know, it's gotten misconstrued, because sometimes people will take what they think is Greek, but it's really some like Renaissance redo. Did I have that conversation with you, Friar? Who did I have that? I don't know. Sorry. I guess I'm just...
it seems
I guess I'm just, yeah, it seems
probably
like
had
I
multiple times. Yes. They have good music on these. It's hard to focus.
Dude, this is why I'm not on TikTok, because I would just never stop.
It's on X. There's not as many scary videos as you would think.
Oh, I haven't tried out
Well,
X.
I haven't figured out how to find them. So I've only been on, I got back on there a few months back, and it's actually not bad. It's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, Twitter was really lame. It was just me talking to myself. Well, that's usually most social media apps. It's just me talking to myself.
I think it's still
like that on Facebook.
It's definitely still that, but it's easier. So like Facebook, you have to be someone's friend for the most part to interact with them, and here you can interact with total strangers. So it's like easier to find cool stuff and like new people or whatever. But
yeah, Lorna was saying they like have news, and like it's completely different than what Twitter was. So.
Yeah.
I don't know, with Saturn going into Pisces, or maybe, you know, that has anything to do with it. What do you see happening with social media? Because I see a lot more people putting it away, and then I see some people that are so fucking immersed in it, they couldn't imagine living without it.
I mean, I suspect that the overall push is either the social media has to change to start fitting the shift in consciousness, or people will quit using it, which is definitely happening. It's not huge right now, you know, but I think people are losing, they're like, the novelty is worn off. It's the people who are straight up addicted to it, but you're always going to have those people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was a time I was completely addicted to social
media. Nice to be
free. I've hit the point, like, because I'm old enough to be like, remember when I was a kid, we'd sit and play Nintendo. And then you just wanted to, like, you were done. You didn't sit and play Nintendo all day. Like, I mean, sometimes you wanted to beat the level. But I've hit that point where I'm like, I'm done playing this game. I want to go outside and play.
Yeah.
I'm tired of social media. But I like it, you know, because I do like to be in touch with all, like, my friends and stuff like that. But I just hate how it's developed into something where it just takes over your life and you're at the mercy of it all the time. Like, so-and-so commented, and then they get upset because you didn't comment right away or whatever. Or you hearted my boyfriend's comment, you bag. Like, I'm fucking serious. I'm like, the shit I had to deal with for somebody who barely used Facebook, I had to deal with so much drama. It's been the best thing in the world to just get rid of it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Get rid
It'll
of
blow
it.
your mind. Black and white squares and a number 11 with 2 pillars. Black adds up to 11, white adds up to 11. This is 11, 11. Black represents matter, white represents spirit. That's why the Holy Spirit is a white dove.
This guy's got some serious free time. I've seen his videos a lot on like the creepy TikTok compilations and stuff. I don't know. Like, this is all he does in life. And I mean, more power to him. Okay. He's doing his thing. But man, to come up with some of this stuff and jump to these conclusions.
I was going to say, it kind of seems made up. But...
Like, yeah, you're really reaching on some of this stuff.
Physical plane, matter, astral plane, spirit. This represents spirit and matter intertwined, which is the physical world. The astral is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine things. This is completely metaphysical. As above, so below. What happens in the astral happens in the physical. You manipulate these higher planes of consciousness and you manipulate the physical plane.
Probably,
This
yeah.
is how
I can
magic
get down
works.
with that. Hell
Using
yeah.
your astral body, your imagination
real.
and emotions to create a physical reality. Everything you see in physical began in astral and mental. Checkered floor represents spirit and matter intertwined. The pillars represent as above, so below. What happens in spirit, in astral, happens in physical. You've also probably seen this. A compass for the circle, a square for the square. Circle is eternal, square is limited. Spirit and matter, mind over matter, spirit over matter.
Okay. What? Did you catch all that? Shapes and colors and numbers, and it's evil. That's what we need to know.
People to see the light, big people to see in the darkness. This is the spiritual eye. This is the physical eye. You are spirit and matter combined. Anu and Ki, Anunnaki. You need to let your spirit, your mind control your physical body and not your body control your mind.
He just dropped some knowledge on us. He just told us we're all Anunnaki.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
sense. This is why the compass is on top of the square. Essentially, you're in a game. Your consciousness is intertwined with physical matter, and you need to control this body. And don't let the world, your 5 senses and emotions, control you, your consciousness.
I agree with that.
Comment
yeah.
Zero Light
totally
wins a
agree
free
with
Book
that.
of Wisdom Volume 2 on its release date.
Is that his
and
book?
Stop eating bananas. These things are filled with starch. They're unnatural.
Okay.
Stop. I eat bananas all the time.
Some of them don't
Come
taste
on.
good. I don't know how to explain it, but let's
There's
look at a normal person real quick. There's this just some person when I Googled astrology videos, like she's just a regular person. Let's see what she has to say. This Kelly's Astrology shout out. So let's see what we have here. Back up.
Venus in Pisces feels like being nourished or replenished deep in your soul. So this is like getting that sort of watering energy. So it can be great for hydrating or healing physically, but more importantly, it's about restorative experiences or a period of restoration and replenishment for our emotions, but mostly for our energy, for our kind of, intuitive selves, for our energetic selves, and then for our emotional selves.
I can get on board with all that, but her accent makes me think that there's a giant huntsman spider just lurking right behind that bookshelf behind her. So hopefully there's not.
And that you're enjoying more interaction with other people that really lift your spirits or kind of soothe your soul, that really touch you in that tender place within. Maybe you're reconnecting with hobbies or activities that just feel good. Remember that Venus is ultimately a planet of pleasure and enjoyment. For me personally, I've recently been remembering how much I love cooking food for other people. And even though I live in a small household, just me and my husband, I'm delighting in either hosting friends and cooking for them or baking treats that I can take out and share with others.
I'm wondering where her Pisces placement is then. Like, what house? I wish she would have said, like,
you could probably find out. It's Kelly's Astrology or whatever.
Yeah,
so go look her up.
I've seen her before. I like her.
Is she on YouTube too?
She's on YouTube, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few of them I follow, and they're really good. They're really good, and they do practice. Some of the astrologers I follow, you know, they do practice tropical, obviously, because they're popular. But
yeah, well, I don't think she
sometimes-
did. She was talking about Venus and Pisces. She got the constellation right. So
hell yeah.
but then again,
Yeah.
Pisces is so huge. So maybe she's thinking
Yeah.
the other side of Pisces. I don't know. But she, you know,
Well,
whatever. That
yeah.
counts. That's some of the overlap that we deal with the tropical and sidereal side. So
The Golden
let's
Book
see.
of Anunnaki. It looks really new for it being so old.
And it's got some blood in there.
Oh my god.
That looks legit.
This is fake. This is so fake. Are you kidding me?
It's cute though. I'd buy it.
It's
Those
definitely
aren't-
not Anunnaki stuff.
That's
It's
supposed to be
probably- I mean,
cuneiform. It looks like, is that Arabic? I don't know. It's definitely no Anunnaki made that. I don't know what that is.
No, definitely not. Shit would have fell apart by now. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw a meme. It was like Cleopatra, her, you know, reign was closer to the iPhone than it was like
Yeah.
that Anunnaki stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah.
This guy, he's a little out there, right?
I don't know who this is. Do you know who this person is?
I watched some of his stuff before, and then he just kind of went a little off the rails for me. But
Okay.
I was bored. I was watching him.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I can't remember who he is. It's
his
like
fire, air, water, earth stuff back there isn't.
he's
very
in one of
common.
our God, he's in one of the quizzes that Friar does.
Oh, okay.
This is the guy.
Okay.
That guy. I just can't remember his name.
If anybody knows his name,
It's like
pop it in the
Italian
comments.
or something.
It's Santo Spinaci.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what it is. I could see it, but I couldn't like think it. I just knew it was like Italian or something.
Job 38:32. God says to Job, he says, "Do you know the Mazzaroth, the zodiac?" Why would God be asking anyone that when the Bible says that astrology is from the devil?
Anybody know where the Bible says that astrology is from the devil? Because I don't remember not a single solitary.
The Bible
person
doesn't
about
say it. The Bible doesn't say it. But
As a matter of fact, the Bible's full
Church
of
says
astrological references. Yeah.
Well, because we are made in the image of God. The Elohim, they say, let us make man in our image. That's the image. 48 constellations. 48 constellations go in your body. The ecliptic runs straight through the center. Aries in the head, Pisces in the feet. The two hands, arms are the twins. There's 36 extra zodiacal signs, which make the 360 acupuncture points, or 360 degrees of a circle. These are holy numbers because they are star numbers. It's not only in religion that this stuff is going on. This is the religious world, and this is how, you know, the buffoons are trying to hide their astrotheology. Now you've got cardinal, deacon, sect.
Hold on, my cat's
You've got all
attacking
this
my rats.
Star
Anyway.
stuff.
oh no. Cat is feeling feisty today.
Yeah, they're in their little playpen. Okay, sorry about that.
In there. What happens when you are a master? You're a measurer of the stars by degrees. So you go to university, right, and you study and you learn, and then at the end they tell you that you are a measurer of stars. We've got to get our degrees. That's why God says to Job, can you tell the Mazzaroth? Because if you don't, you're a fool like the rest, like the herd. And that's why this story, this gospel must be told. Because in the gospel is the story of the conquering of the sun. Story of how the sun continues in his journey to bring us just wonderful things, you know. We copy the sun. As the sun goes around and gets born in our head every morning at 6 o'clock, that would be where you do your thinking, wouldn't it? When the sun wakes up, so do you, in the head, thinking. And then Taurus is eating, the mouth, and speaking. Thinking, Aries. Speaking, Taurus. Doing, Gemini. And that is the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
I feel like we probably missed a lot of that conversation he just had, and somebody's
Yeah.
like, God knows what the actual context of any of it was.
Yeah. Oh my God. Because it got cut so much that
Yeah, who knows what he
sounded
was
like
really talking
Aries
about.
and Taurus and Gemini are the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. That's what it sounded like. the way they cut that.
That's how it sounded, but who knows what was really going on.
Yeah. I don't know. That guy was pretty. Yeah, that was all right. It's pretty cool. I heard he lost it a little bit, like towards the end of his career, or is he still going? I don't know. Friar, we talked about it, but you're awfully quiet today.
Yeah. Well, I apologize. Sometimes realization strikes at the most inconvenient times. And I've been hit pretty hard, like really hard.
Ah.
Well,
So,
again, I apologize.
No. This is all having to do with me. So.
Well, I love you.
Oh, I love you too, you know.
Okay.
That's for sure. Don't worry about
that. I just want you to know that I do love you very much.
I think it just struck me like I broke a promise.
Oh, which one?
To
Well, you don't have to do all that now. That's okay. Unless you want to, and we're here for it.
You guys live in Wisconsin, and it's snowing right now. It's not supposed to snow. Guess who moves this week?
You're in Wisconsin. It's supposed to snow.
Every day. I swear it was like 40s and sunny until this week. I was like, come on. What else you got, Abby?
Hold on, stand by. I only have one more. What are we doing? Present. Share the screen. This one. Did we do? Oh, this was the first video I had up, and then I got rid of it. All right, let's see what it says.
Oh, I love the AI stuff. Is that AI or is that like from a movie?
No, Nikki, those are real. Somebody took those pictures.
Yeah.
Those are.
I'm gullible enough to believe that shit too. I'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, those
Where
are.
did they
land?
Yep.
These are like straight out of somebody's ring cam, right on their front porch.
You know, we choose to be human and come here. Why can't we look cool like that? Why can't we be like, you know?
Who says we don't? You know, to these dudes, to these cool looking Anunnaki dudes, they're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to just be like hairless monkey looking creatures like these guys down here? Wouldn't that be sweet?
God, they make a like. How do you go to the bathroom in that outfit? You know, because they
probably
obviously
don't have
they're
to
women
anymore.
looking. Yeah,
I don't
they
have to.
transcended shitting and pissing. They don't have to anymore.
You know, I watched this. I couldn't probably even tell you where I found it. My mom sent me the link. She's got all the good extraterrestrial videos and stuff. But she sent me this one. And, oh, that's what it was called. It was called An Anatomy. It was like a documentary, Anatomy of a Gray. And it was really interesting. I didn't have like the bullshit flag go off. I don't think at all during the whole thing. I'm not saying it was all true because I can't verify any of it. But one of the things he said towards the end that I do remember was that the Greys, so basically according to some guy who worked in like Area 51 or whatever, or like a handful of people, they kind of all were on the same page. They said that the Greys are biologically engineered. So they're not like they're technically biological, but they're more like machines. But they were saying how they excrete whatever, you know, waste material they have through their skin. And that's why some people say that they have that like bad smell. They feel like, you know, they just smell something awful when the aliens are around. I don't know. I don't know. But the other thing he said that was cool was he said that the Greys are trying to understand consciousness, and the Greys work for somebody else. But that's why they're so interested in humans, because they want to, something about us, we're able to connect to like the source consciousness easier than them. And they want to be able to harness that technology so that they can use it, because it has something to do with flying their ships, or I don't know, you guys. But it was just interesting. So if you guys are bored sometime, check it out. But yeah, that made me think of them not going to the bathroom. He also said that they don't have a difference in the tubes, he called them, I think, where they eat and breathe. So it's all just one tube, and then the food, whatever it is, it's like some sort of fluid or paste or something goes into their stomach. It's but yeah, it just gets excreted through the skin. So
I used to, and take it for what it's worth, but I used to read a lot, Dolores Cannon's books, and one of them was about all about extraterrestrials. And in one of her interviews, or one of her people that were under hypnosis had said that they, remember being an alien, and they had just left their body. They could just leave it because it wasn't useful to them anymore where they were.
Yeah, like a suit or something.
Yeah, and they could just like decide to exit. I was like, well, that's...
Who was that?
It was Dolores Cannon. I forgot what book it was, though, because I used to really be into her, and I don't have any of her books anymore, I don't think. It might have been like Convoluted Universe, or maybe like, there was like a Garden of Eden one. She's had a few like crazy books. Okay. Yeah, I got into that. So yeah, I wonder about that too. Like, alien stuff is so mysterious, and we've just been God, they don't, like, nobody tells us anything. We just got to figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
Just getting totally blue balled out there, so bad. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, we had all this activity, and we had all these like glowing orbs in the sky.
We still are. It hasn't gone anywhere. They just aren't talking about it.
Talking about it. Yeah. Oh man. I know. I guess I gotta scratch. Yeah. They're like, on to the next thing. Now we're just gonna talk about Elon.
Yep. For sure.
All right, Anunnaki, New Age people. So what's he saying?
I think I'm the only person on planet Earth who loves the Anunnaki. I think everyone else thinks they're
You're not the only one. No.
Oh, I'm not? Well, where are my people? Because
I know a lady. She's super interesting. She does like healing hypnosis mainly for men, but her channel is Anuna Healing because she believes that she's like of the Anunnaki. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
you got peeps.
There are some peeps, but I suspect all of those peeps think that they're aliens. I don't think that the Anunnaki are aliens, you guys. I'm just being honest. Now, I'm not saying that the Sumerians, when they wrote stuff down, didn't maybe refer to aliens at various times, but at least a large portion, the major Anunnaki were basically the planets. They were various stars, and they were the personification of nature, like Enki, the Lord of the Earth, and Leo, the Lord of the Winds. They were not aliens. If they were going to be star people, they would have made that very clear. They had the vocabulary for that. They wouldn't have had to disguise it. And the Sumerians weren't real big on disguising stuff. They were, they tried to be as literal as possible. So, but whatever.
I know we did find all those like skeletons of giants and shit like that, like giant people. Is that stuff real, you guys? Have you looked into it?
Yeah, I think so.
Like memes and little documentary blurbs, and
I mean, like every. Okay, not that all, there's not a lot of Native Americans left to, report the stories, but like every tribe had not even in North America. They had them in South America. They had them all over Europe. I don't know about Africa in particular. I'm sure that they did, but I mean, I just don't know in particular. But like all these tribal people, hunter-gatherer people all over the world have reported, giants. And they were in the news reports, that they got taken to the Smithsonian and nobody saw them again.
That's how it usually works.
Yeah.
The fallen Elam. So these are like, so they think that, Avengers.
The Anunnaki don't have anything to do with any of the Elohim or any other they're not watchers. They're not Nephilim. They're not any of those things. Those are separate stories. If they were the Anunnaki, they would, again, we're looking at deities. We're not looking at low level, whatever, angels or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. This is news.
I have an internet, education on that, so I can't really comment.
Well, mine
well,
is
I'm gonna though. But I'm gonna though. Yeah, the Anunnaki and like the gods, angels, and watchers. I mean, I don't know. You could spin that story in a whole bunch of different things.
Well, and that's what Sitchin did. That's like the entire 12th planet book that he wrote is all he took, which I do believe he was a like he had a in-depth knowledge of Hebrew. So I can't, again, he doesn't cite his sources, so it's hard to tell where he pulls various information out of. So some of his biblical references are probably accurate, but his Sumerian stuff, I'm just telling you guys, it's not. Like I don't know what he's smoking, but he should have gave me some.
His books are pretty entertaining, though.
They are good. They're great.
And Barnes and Noble, and checked them out. Like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, they're fun though.
I'm not into the whole human race is just in slavery and enslaved, and
I don't think that's a good way to live.
No, it's kind of
let's be a victim. We're just
right
by the aliens, I guess.
Yeah, I love.
Not into that.
I'm not.
15-dimensional time matrix. Okay, God's hologram of matter. Okay, I don't know.
Oh, that's complicated. Who came
Universal Templar complex spheres. People like to break stuff down. They're into that.
Wow, they're data driven.
Oh, it's his diagram.
We're in the third dimension.
He sounds like Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I can't hear him. I don't know. It hits a point in humanity's time here, and we've all been kind of searching for the past and as if we're gonna find some kind of aha, this is it answer. And it just, we kind of have to. I think we need to start living like we already know the answers and just go for it. It's kind of I don't know, all the scrounging around for the history and is this the right thing? Is that the right thing? What's right and what's wrong? And especially when it comes to those old concepts, I think we should just take what we know and, move along with it. Does it matter, to know all about fucking Atlantis? How does that help me spiritually? I mean, I guess if I was one of those people that
you probably don't need to know that,
of being, in Atlanta, I have this memory and I was there and I believe these people. Sure. I mean, I've got weird past life memories too, but how does that help me spiritually?
It probably doesn't.
That help me? Yeah, I think it's confusing. I think we can look back at the past and get confused and just make shit up and then think we're remembering it the right way, and it's just not how it is. It's like that too when we look back at the past, unless we have absolute solid evidence this is the way it was, then it's hard to then you're just spinning your own stories around. It's silly.
That's why, again, at a certain point,
it's interesting though, because I like stories.
Well, yeah, it's fun. It's fun, for sure.
I mean, if you approach it that way.
Some of it I think is important for, just humanity and understanding our past.
Definitely.
But yeah, spiritually, do we need to know about Atlantis? Probably not.
Yeah.
Trish Farrell says, I would like to see sidereal astrology used in tandem with psychology and therapy. It should be mutually inclusive. I believe it would revolutionize how we help people understand and heal themselves. Heck yeah, I'm on board for that. What kind of petition?
Yeah, evolutionary astrology. Look it up. Look up evolutionary astrology. Jeff Wolf Green. There's a bunch of people who do that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Ground Zero said, I already finished about Sadhguru a long time ago. Yeah, that guy. He's out of control. That guy's out of control. Somebody needs to stop him.
What do you mean? Is he is he?
He murdered his wife.
Shut the fuck up. He murdered.
Yes. Okay,
and
listen.
walking around like he
makes, oh my God, I don't know how many millions, if not billions of dollars his organization has right now. He's a cult leader, essentially.
Yeah, okay.
And if you come after him, if you criticize him, anything, Jaggi Vasudev is his real name. The culties come after you, like they'll try to shut you down. They'll lie. They'll make stuff up. Oh yeah. So basically this is what happened. He had a girlfriend. Okay. And he was not getting along with his wife. They had an 8-year-old daughter, I believe, at the time, you guys. And I'm not like a detective on the case, so I'm relaying the information as best as I can. Well, she mysteriously just died one day. And he told everyone that she experienced samadhi, where basically she becomes one with whoever she's. I don't know what. I don't think he's a Shaivite. I don't know what he's into. So she left her body and died. Like her body died because she was so spiritually advanced. She just, fluttered into the ether and left her 8-year-old daughter behind. And then within a few hours, he had her body cremated.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So first of all, like I have now, my daughter turned 8 a few days ago, and I can safely assume that I don't care I don't care how enlightened somebody can get. I'm not leaving my kid here. I'm willing to suffer through all sorts of bullshit for the next, 50, 60 years or however long I get to live or whatever, to make sure. I'd rather be here for as long as humanly possible, just to make sure that my offspring has the most prosperous life possible. Right?
Absolutely.
There's no friggin' way her mom's just gonna oh no, I'm just enlightened now. I'm leaving you here with this guy and his girlfriend.
Prayed her way. Okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay. Because if it were that easy, I'm telling you, half the people on this planet would have done that already. Made a mistake. I'm gonna pray. And,
it's probably much more of a metaphor, as opposed to, kind of like Tao is trying to achieve immortality. Are you really going to become physically immortal? Probably not. But, are you achieving immortality in some other internal way? Maybe, yeah. I don't know. But I really doubt that you're supposed to just check out your body because you're so enlightened. I don't think that helps anybody. And I think that he probably killed her, and a lot of other people did.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Just a guess, but that's why I have a hard time following gurus and teachers and putting all my faith into somebody that crowds of people just lift up and
that's a giant red flag. That's like run in the other friggin' direction. Yes.
Yeah, I have a really hard time with that.
Because they all get handsy at some point. Even the ladies, even the lady gurus, okay, they're gonna get handsy at a certain point.
Yeah. They get
okay, maybe not all of them. Like I know some like Radhanath Swami from the ISKCON movement is like super awesome. Like I know there are some really cool spiritual people out there, gurus in particular, but those people aren't out. They don't got YouTube channels. They're not trying to make money. These people are like literally, living in austerity. They're living on the street. They're being fed, scraps and stuff. So those people are legit. But these other people, like the first exposure I had to Sadhguru, I had no idea who he was, but I still am a Gordon Ramsay fan. And he was doing that one series where he was like going around the world and like trying all these foods and like cooking cool stuff. And he shows up at what is their thing? Isha, I think that's their name, their compound, Sadhguru's compound.
Holy
and dude's like riding a 4-wheeler. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you guys are like, hello? How do your mom didn't
Joel
tell
Osteen
you?
vibes then, Joel Osteen vibes.
I think he makes Joel Osteen look, first of all, like a genius, like a rocket scientist, and also probably really humble. But that's just me. Maybe I'm nitpicking.
I
Trish,
see dudes like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I see dudes like Joel Osteen, and that's exactly why I don't.
Yeah, like that's something's wrong. Like
I'm like, okay,
the alarm bells are ringing. Yes. Trish Farrell says, I disagree. This was about Sadhguru's astrology thing. He's looking at the rock and human from ego, which is duality and not reality. It's about interdependence and energetic exchange. Yeah, I agree. It's about understanding there is no separation. Heck yeah. I don't know if he's a dualist or non-dualist, to be honest with you. I don't know that he's even spiritual. So Patrick, Prana Pat, who's been on the show before, they went and were like, they weren't devotees, we wouldn't call them that, but they went to the ashram and stuff, and he made it sound like Sadhguru tells you not to worship any god, and they're not like on any particular tradition. So I'm not sure where he's at on that. I don't think it matters. Like once you murder your wife, I'm kind of like, yeah. Let me see here. Kaleo Green Bay says 666 man trying to elevate himself into godhood. Okay.
Yeah.
Greetings from Canada. I'm a new sub. Hi, Nina, the Mystic Truther. Glad to have you. Mermaids wear hats. Old Santos has some legit stuff. Oh, okay. Nina, the Mystic Truther said Bonacci. Yeah, that's what we did. Yes.
Yeah.
The Bible does inform that astrology is verboten art. King David was an astrologer. As a matter of fact, if you were a scientist and like a man of knowledge and learning in Jewish and Hebrew culture and whatnot, you were an astrologer. You had to be. That's kind of like because that's science. That's just we don't really get a debate on the accuracy and legitimacy of classical system. I know there's a lot of classical people like he still uses this stuff, but like it doesn't really become a tabloid joke until you know. That's what I'll say. Morgan Roberts said, I'd love to see you guys debunking that website. I don't know which website, but tell me which one and we will debunk it. So if you're still on the call.
I love that.
Trish Farrell. Yeah, go ahead.
Considering the size of my son, I'm inclined to believe there are giants at one point.
Yeah, probably.
I believe you, girl. I believe you.
Legit.
For real. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, the whole giant thing I think is pretty interesting. There's a lot of different historical things we could take a look at.
How about all those soldiers from Afghanistan who claim to have like seen one, or they were all they were like fighting in the caves and stuff, and a lot of the locals too would tell them like, no, there's these red-haired giants, like you guys got to be careful. And some of them claim to have seen them. I mean, again, I can't ever.
You think it's Sasquatch? Do you really think
No, they said they were like giant red-haired people.
Oh, interesting.
There's something interesting too about the redhead gene. What is that one?
Yeah.
It's basically an abomination. No, I'm not.
Oh God, I know.
No, I didn't know.
From a long
But
line of redheads. We're Irish too, so.
No, but there's what's the one? They're not Russian. They're oh God, you guys help.
Oh, are you talking about like the Vikings?
No.
Like, are you talking about like God, I'm butchering everything as if I never took any high school classes. I actually didn't show up.
Me. The Udmurt people of the Volga region, I think that's the one. The name doesn't sound familiar, probably because I'm hearing it in English and I'm used to the Russian side. Yeah, they're the most red-headed people on earth, but theirs is like it's like an auburn red. It's not like carrot red. It's really like, it's beautiful. But it's like an ethnic, like a smaller subset ethnic group.
Yeah,
Morgan Roberts.
Orange redheads.
Morgan Roberts says the Ascension Glossary website where they call Anunnaki aliens that are mind controlling humans on Earth. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Hold on. I got to bookmark it. Ascension Glossary. Okay. Bookmarked. Fun times. Oh, it took me to the Wikipedia page. That's probably not. Hold on. I don't know. I'll dig around and look for it. Okay.
7 feet.
My grandfather
was tall too.
Yeah.
7. Yeah. They made him taller, I think, back then. I don't know what happened. It's probably the food.
It probably is the food.
Processed food. I've been eating processed food, Chinese. I've been eating so poorly. And I'm doing it on purpose because I don't care. And now I have to care. It sucks.
Well,
I hate it.
you're
I
in
hate it.
transition. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
See that detox day I said? If you can do the detox when the moon's conjunct with Spica here in the next week or so, whenever it was,
Oh my God,
probably
yes.
help out.
Yeah, I actually started a little bit yesterday. But I got so hungry. So yeah.
It's easier if you
It
fast.
was healthy food. It was healthy food.
Especially when you're busy. Just make sure you
my-
eat like high calorie food later so you don't starve to
Yeah.
death.
The problem is processed food and sugar. It spikes everything up, and then you're hungry all the time, and it doesn't end until you cleanse and get rid of that garbage in your system. It's just it's a wicked little cycle.
It's the self-destructive cycle. It happens to me all the time. And the food like sucks you in.
Yeah. I want
like
chocolate so bad. And like
I know
face is so
I
broken
noticed
out. I'm like, oh my God.
I was doing carnivore again for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but I started eating hot dogs because our hot dogs are good, you guys. They're delicious. The Russians have mastered tube meat of all kinds, okay? But my daughter was making them for me. She's like, "Can I cook you some hot dogs with cheese?" I'm like, "Sure, honey." So she did, and like after a couple of days, I'm like, "Man, I just feel weird, like I don't want to eat this." And I was like craving root vegetables. And like, you know what? I just want some potatoes and carrots and parsnips and turnips and anything that grew out of the ground, but like with some meat. And I just want beef or something. So I started eating that, and oh my God, I felt so like calm, like just totally and I wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm just like, no, I'm going to listen. I want the roots. I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And I felt so awesome over the last week. Like I feel like I've reached, like, you crossed a plateau or something mentally and spiritually. So yeah, so I'm going to keep that going.
Real food. Hell yeah. No, I do the same thing. Like I'm at my peak like performance when I'm just eating real food.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Nothing that came in a box. Like, oh yeah. Nothing beats that.
Morgan says, so you can type in any spiritual cult historical subject and they write their own download upon it. And I see so many people in the spiritual astrology community or / astrology community believing in all this shit. Oh, that's crazy. That sounds super crazy. That sounds dangerous. So they're just making shit up as they go. It's weird. Yeah, we'll have to look into it.
Yeah, downloads. That's interesting.
Speaking of
downloads
eating food, you guys, I gotta go eat dinner. I'm starving.
Yeah, I gotta
Friar, how are you holding up over there?
I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, sometimes enormous. We'll just say my blue guy said, "Hey, I got something for you," and so it was.
Blue is the water emotional one, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
So
I'm learning.
Right. I just felt like I was very much in the wrong, and it hit me really, really hard. So I had to take a step back, and and again, I'm sorry for the timing. Like, I don't mean to be a bummer. It's like, but I was just really hit really hard, and I was not fit to talk, if you take my meaning.
Okay. Well, that was responsible of you, because I would have just vomited all of my inner thoughts, and God help us all.
Oh my God, I could do that. I could do that.
So I'm okay.
Okay. Well, if you need anything, let me know. You guys had fun going through the things today. If you liked this video, if you guys, want more of these, let us know, because we're here for you. We have our own stuff that we do on the Sunday calls. So like technically we don't got to be here. We're here for you guys. Thanks to everybody. Nina, Mermaids Wear Hats, Roxanne, who else was in here? Ground Zero, all kinds of, you guys are on fire today.
Yeah, Matthew Blake.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
Matthew's
cool.
up here.
Yeah.
So we'll be, I think I'll be here Friday, I think, you guys. I'm going to be on Niki and Friar. You're welcome to jump on with me if you're bored. So I'll just be around. But otherwise, you guys can contact us. All our information is scrolling on the ticker, I think. But you can also contact us from the stuff in the video description. And we'll be back next Wednesday with, hold on, stand by. I will tell you. who's coming on Wednesday? Why don't I know? I used to know, and I don't know anymore.
I know. I used to check the website all the.
I gotta put it back on there. Next Wednesday is the 19th, and we have it's Tommy Westlund, and that was one of the people Friar you recommended. Is that the Swedish
alchemist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we talked about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah.
So, be there or be square, you guys. I don't know what to tell you. We'll be here. All right. Well, you guys all take care of yourselves. We love you very much. And happy full moon. I hope it is your best full moon ever.
Yes. Love you guys. Bye.